Let's see. You're doing great, Jeffrey. Thanks. Thanks. Did Peter write Peril on spec, or was this an idea that you had asked him to develop? I raised, no, he didn't write it on spec. Peter's WGA, so I raised money to pay Peter. What I did with Lullaby is I raised money in two phases, if you will. One, to get the script written, and then once the script was written, I raised the remainder of the film's budget. And that's the same thing I'm doing with Peril. About a year and a half ago, I raised enough money to pay Peter to write the script. And then now the script's done, I'm raising the remainder of the budget. What would you say is the most unusual part of this movie that might make it stand out from other movies? That's a good question. You know, I mean, I don't know. More than anything, I would have to say, you know, I mean, as a director, I don't feel like my sensibility and my style and my approach is quite like anyone else's. So, you know, at the end of the day, I would have to say, you know, that. You know, it is a genre film. It is a young boy in danger film, which is something we have seen before. You know, one thing about genres is that, you know, a genre film always has a certain amount of familiarity, because people that make genre films, by and large, are hoping to make them somewhat commercial. And, you know, that's the goal here, too. And so, you know, there are certain aspects of the film. I mean, a young boy in danger, a young boy on the run. I mean, those things we've seen before, but I think my sensibility paired with that genre will be something that's fresh and different. I don't know if that's a satisfactory answer, but that's the best way I know how to answer it. What are your long-term plans after you get this movie done? Well, you mean in terms of Peril or in terms of career? And I'll ask you that question back, and then you can ask me another question. Let's see. Who would your dream choice for the lead actor if you could cast anyone big? Well, it's a good question. You know, the main character is an 11-year-old boy, and usually with these young boy in danger movies, you know, the little boys or girls, the young boys or girls are usually virtually unknown. I mean, if you think about, you know, Haley Joel Osment in The Sixth Sense, or the kid in Witness, or the kid in The Client, Brad, what was his, Renfro. You know, you hope, you know, usually you hope it's the start of someone's long and illustrious career, and so chances are for Milo's character, it'll be someone virtually unknown. We really feel like the character where we have the best shot at attracting real talent is with Patty, one of the people that Milo befriends. You know, I don't like to necessarily share actors I have in mind, because you know, I don't want the actor that ends up doing it, if it's not my first choice, to feel like they're not my first choice, and I don't really want to give the public another vision of someone I wanted. So if it's okay, I'd rather refrain from answering that question. And once again, I am very open, and you can ask me pretty much anything. You guys have just hit on, you know, the budget and that question. Two of maybe 3 or 4 things that I don't feel 100% comfortable answering. Do you feel the film industry is starting to trend to do more responsible filming as far as making a difference in the world through the film medium? That's a good question. I don't know. I mean, I think you'll always have, just like every person is different, it seems like every filmmaker is different. Some filmmakers are in it for the money. Some filmmakers are in it for the glamour. Some filmmakers are in it for the art. Some filmmakers are in it because they have a certain message they're trying to convey or express. So it's hard for me to say. I mean, I think there are indications every year that there are movies that are trying to make a difference in the world, but I think, you know, there's also indication every year that there are just as many movies that maybe aren't. So I'm not sure we're seeing a trend any more in that direction or any less. I think that's just always kind of been a constant in this business. Oh, career. Okay. You know, my goal, as I said before, my goal is to remain in the Shreveport area and make movies. I mean, I got married, what, babe, 4 months ago, 5 months ago. I mean, this is home. We're both from Shreveport. This is where I grew up. And I lived in Los Angeles for 7+ years, but it's great being back home and making movies. And we now have a very viable industry in my backyard, and I'd love to see that grow and become just bigger and better. So I think every time you make one of these movies, your main career goal is just, gosh, I hope I get to do it again. And I'm still at that place where I'm still trying to prove myself. I've done 6 short films, I've done 1 feature, but most people would say I'm not a household name at this point. So my career goal is just make a good enough movie that allows me to make another movie, I guess, and hopefully make another movie in the Shreveport area. What made you pick this screenplay? Well, it's a good question. If any of you have seen The Last Lullaby, The Last Lullaby was about 2 middle-aged characters, and I think after we finished The Lullaby, Peter and I were talking, and I was saying, I'd really like to make something slightly younger, something that has the possibility at bringing in a younger audience. I'm 36, in case anyone's wondering, and it's very hard to get the teens in the theater for Lullaby, and it was even hard to get college-age people in the theater for Lullaby. It just, because it was about 2 middle-aged people, it was very hard to make that appealing, I think, to most younger people. And so I think primarily, Peter and I talked, and I said, I'd really like this time out to make something that skewed slightly younger. And then he and I batted around some ideas, and that was kind of the genesis of Peril. What would you tell young kids who are looking to become a director or actor? What are the steps to get to where you have gotten? That's a great question. My single, I guess, most valuable piece of advice is always just go do it. I think people can get caught up in this industry of waiting for someone to tell them they're talented, or waiting for someone to give them permission to make movies, or and you can spend a lifetime waiting, and that's valuable creative time that you're losing out on. So now with the advent of digital cameras and the advent of digital editing systems, there's really no excuse anymore for people not to go make a movie if that's what you want to do. If you want to act, get friends together and go make a movie that showcases your skills as an actor. If you want to direct, go get friends together and make a movie that showcases your skills as a director. And you can make a feature, well, we won't say a feature, but you can make a short film now for under $1,000. So anyone can, at this point, can scrap together that kind of money and go do it. So it's scary. It's always a risk. You're always putting yourself out there, but really, I mean, just like the cliche Nike motto, I just tell people go do it. I'll take 3 or 4 more questions. It's 9:28. I wanted to wrap it up around 9:30, so I'll take 2 or 3 or 4 more questions. And I just want to, before I forget, obviously I would think everyone that's in here is on our Facebook group for the film. We're really growing the group. We've made a tremendous push in the last couple weeks, and we're trying. Our next plateau is to hit 2,000. At 2,000, we do a drawing for all 2,000 members, and someone wins a few hours on set while we're filming. So I hope after this chat tonight, all of you will go home and encourage people to join the group for Peril. And then when we get to 3,000, I believe we decided that we have a daily trivia game on the Peril page, and when we get to 3,000. Each day's winner will be entered into a drawing to win an extra role for the film. So we want to keep growing, keep spreading the word, and you guys have been amazing about doing that. But I need everyone to continue to do that. Maybe post on your Facebook profile status. I'm following this film Peril. I'm part of this film Peril, and we're doing things in a DIW, do it with others way, and I hope you'll join the group too. So I'll take 3 or 4 more questions. I'll look down, and thank you guys all again for being here tonight. Let me just see what's on the board.